Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome back to the Charter NextGen Halftime Show. I am Brian Harter along with Bruce Weirich. We'll be joined in a few minutes by Jake Furr of the Mansfield News Journal. But, Coach, first of all, this was not a half that really surprised me. I thought Mansfield Senior come out and they played well. Lexington was not intimidated. They came into Arlin Field and they played the game that I thought that they could play, and they are right where they want to be heading into the second half. The last time these two teams played, it was 23-0 heading into the fourth quarter, and Lexington mounted a comeback. They've showed the ability to get some points on the board here early.
Yeah, and it's a great game. I love what the coaches have done to prepare their teams. Lexington, it shows what they're doing. They're running the ball, they're throwing the ball, doing a little play action, and it's just going to be a great second half for us.
Now we take a look at the first half numbers. 194 yards of total offense for the Tygers. Lexington with 121 yards. The surprise might be the 2 turnovers. Brock Hill has done a very good job all season long of taking care of the football. In fact, we were told by John Davis he had thrown 77 straight passes without an interception, and in the first half he throws 2.
Yeah, you can credit the Lexington defense. They know what they're doing. They know what the route's out, and they're jumping them, playing some good ball.
Now, the one thing that we saw last week in the Madison game was Mansfield Senior had some turnovers, or not turnovers, penalties, but tonight both teams with 1 each.
This is a great ball game. You know, the officials have not been involved in it. They haven't made the big calls that are changing things. But doggone, we're in for a great second half, Ryan.
Individually, Brock Hill, 10 of 17, 133 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also has 9 carries for 52 yards and a rushing touchdown. For Lexington, Carson Berry, 14 carries, 78 yards, and he has scored a touchdown. And Cole Pauley, 3 of 6 for 32 yards, and he has thrown a touchdown. So the players that we thought were going to take center stage have taken center stage. And speaking of center stage, Jake Furr steps up. Jake, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too, man. It's kind of warm up here in this box. It's a lot warmer down on the field down there.
Well, you know, we take care of people up here. You got to come up here to the penthouse and see how the other half lives up here. But the first half, in all seriousness, Mansfield Senior coming in, they knew, and I talked with both coaches yesterday, both of them knew that this wasn't a typical 13-5 seeding matchup.
Not at all. I mean, if you were there in the first time these guys met, Tygers jumped up 23-0, but Lexington didn't go away there in the second half, and actually, had a chance to win that ball game. Honestly, driving down 9, they scored to go down 9 and didn't kick that extra point. But I kind of expected this. I thought this could be a 1-score game here.
I said Mansfield Senior was a 5 seed. I'm corrected. They're a 4 seed.
Right.
So they have an opportunity here. They're undefeated in home playoff games, 4-0 heading into tonight. They love playing here at Arlin Field. They have an opportunity. If they win, they can host a playoff game next week. Franciscan and Cleveland Central Catholic playing. Franciscan with a 24-8 lead. So if that holds, they would come down here should Mansfield Senior hold on and win. Now, if Lexington wins, they're going to hit the road and head to Cleveland.
Yeah, that'll be a bus ride up there to Parma. But in playoff football, anything can happen. I think Lexington a few years ago when they had Cade Stover went on kind of an uncharacteristic run. They won 2 playoff games, then played Sandusky, I believe, in maybe a regional semifinal, regional final. But they're no stranger to improbable playoff runs.
This is not a knock on the old coaching staff at Lexington, but this looks like a different team under Taylor Gerhardt.
It does. I mean, you could just see it in the trenches alone. They're not backing down from anybody. They're running the football. They want to run the football, and they take pride in it, which is something they haven't had in a couple years. It's great to see what Lex has done so far.
Well, and they're going to go as far as Carson Berry can carry them. And when I talked to Coach Gerhardt yesterday, he used the word stud. He said this kid is a weight room freak. He's a guy that comes in and works hard. He's a great kid. And that effort and that performance production, it plays out on the field.
Yeah.
As we take a look at Mansfield Senior getting some first. They're going to get a first down inside the 45-yard line thanks to a very nice kickoff return. So the Tigers are going to pick right up where they left off in the second quarter.
And that's huge for them because getting that touchdown right before the half, you want to come out here in the second half and maybe get a 2-for-1. And that's huge field position game right there. I think they're going to play with a short field here. It's going to be nice.
If you don't mind, I'd like you to stick around for a couple of minutes. Just like to ask you a couple more questions.
Definitely.
What do you see in this Tiger team that you feel could propel them into a deep playoff run?
Just the growth of this offensive line. The past few weeks, they've been able to run the football a lot better than they did week 1. I was out here week 1, and, man, they couldn't do anything on the ground. But the growth of this offensive line has been phenomenal, just very surprising.
Talking about the lack of penalties in the first half, and right away in the third quarter, we've got the first penalty of the ball game, or of the first half, or the first minute of the third quarter, excuse me. It's going to be a procedure call against Mansfield Senior. And when I talked to Choky Bradley the first time these two teams played, he felt that when Lexington came out of the locker room, they had a high intensity level, and he felt that the Tigers didn't match that. And when we saw them play Madison last week, they came out prepared and focused, and I don't see them making that same mistake twice against Lexington.
Well, the opening kickoff kind of proved that right there. They came out with a lot of energy, got some good field position. So, yeah, it's definitely huge for them.
And number 4 also taking up where he left off in the second quarter, and he's got first and goal yardage. A flag is down, and they're going to get some yardage after the penalty, as it looked like it may have been a face mask.
Yeah, horse collar maybe.
So Brock Hill with another large run here in the third quarter, and the Tigers knocking on the door again. They already up by 7, 21-14. We're joined by Jake Furr of the Mansfield News-Journal. Now for Lexington to come back and win this, obviously they can't fall too far behind.
No, 2 scores is going to be a very tough thing to come back from, and this is not the ideal start they wanted defensively. They gotta still continue to create turnovers there in this second half, and kind of limit the big plays. They haven't been able to do that so far.
Penalty is going to move the ball down to the 4. Now, if you're an outsider looking at this team and you look at Mansfield Senior and you see that their quarterback is their leading rusher, do you think that can cause them problems as they head deeper into the playoffs?
It definitely does hurt, because then teams can start focusing in on one guy, and it makes it a little tough. But as this kid right here,
Mickey Mills goes into the end zone for a touchdown, and as we just were talking about Brock Hill being the leading ball carrier, Mills goes in from 4 yards out, and now Mansfield Senior with an opportunity to go up 2 scores. Ricky Mills with only his second carry for 7 yards, but more importantly, he gets into the end zone.
Yeah, and I mean that's that kid's identity right there. He chalks up those short yardage and kind of takes contact. I think all 4 of those yards were after contact right there. So that's just the makeup of that kid right there.
Putt with the extra point is up and good. So with 11:23 to go in the third quarter, the Tigers up by 2 scores. This is a huge drive now for Lexington.
Definitely. I mean, you got to put points up on the board right here. You kind of have to match Mansfield Senior's intensity to start this second half. I mean, 2 scores feels like a lot more, especially with this Mansfield Senior defense. This defense is lights out most nights.
Well, and you read my mind. That's where I was going next with this. And I told Chokey this yesterday. I've seen Mansfield Senior football for a long time, and I've seen a lot of good defenses. I don't know if I've seen one that, and he called it a collective effort. They don't have the big stud, right, but they're good across the board. They're extremely fast and physical, and he said they fly to the football. They're buying into what the coaches are selling, and I think they can go as far as this defense can take them.
I really think so too. And the thing is, on this defensive side, they're so talented, they're so athletic, but they have a lot of leadership on that side. I've noticed Myles Bradley just is an unquestionable leader of this entire team. They go as he goes, and then you have Avion Gross, who's been here, done that for so long. They just have a lot of leadership on that side of the football, and I think it's going to pay dividends coming down the stretch.
Okay, now, and you knew this was coming. This is the dangerous question. How does this team compare to the team that Chokey Bradley took to the state title game in 2019?
I actually wrote a column kind of breaking down the stats from both of those defenses, at least. Looking strictly at the defense, this one stacks up. This defense stacks up to that team. Maybe they give up maybe a little bit more yardage, a couple more points a game. But turnovers-wise and kind of tackles and just tackles for loss, sacks, all that stuff, it's almost a mirror image. Offensively, it's a little bit different story.
So the Lexington offense back out on the field now, down by 2 scores, 11:18 to go in the third quarter, and Lexington now forced to play catch-up as they are now down by 2 touchdowns. Pauly back to throw, ball tipped, and it's incomplete. And that was a dangerous throw by Cole Pauly, and that almost resulted in an interception. And the thing that this Tiger defense does, Jake, is they force turnovers, and they have done that all season long, especially with interceptions.
And with Lexington down 2 scores, now you're going to see them throw the football a lot. And the secondary is just licking their chops right now because this is what they want. They want the ball to be flying through the air. They want to make the plays, and we may see a couple here in the second half.
2nd down and 10 from the 31. They go back to the ground. It's Barry to the near side. And he gets a few yards up to the 39-yard line. But again, the Tigers do a very good job of pursuit to the ball. Elias Owens along with Avion Gross over to make the play. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3. As Lexington needs to get to the 41-yard line to get a first down. Taylor Gerhardt took a couple years off, says that he really didn't have any intention of coming back, but they had a couple tough years, and people started knocking at his door and said, hey, is there any interest in you coming back to this program? And I'll finish my thought after this play. There's movement on the line, and Lexington is going to be called for a procedure call. He said he stepped away because there were some family issues that he needed to tend to, and he made an interesting point. He said, he preached to his players for years about family and everything being important, and he goes, I had to lead by example. He said there were some things going on that I had to tend to, and he was able to do that. There are things that have changed, and I won't get into that. That's his story to tell. But he said he's got things a little more under control now, and he felt that it was a time that he could come back, and he said it never left his blood.
And that's what you want out of a head coach. You want him to talk the talk and then walk the walk. And I think that's why Lexington's here in the playoffs right now. After a tough season last year, they kind of immortalized their head coach right now.
3rd down and 8. Pauly steps up, has got an open receiver, and a first down to the 47-yard line. So Lexington not going away quietly. The receiver a little slow to get up after making the reception. It's Carter Newman, who already has a touchdown reception tonight. And one thing that was evident in talking to both of these coaches is the respect that they have for each other.
Yeah, I think both programs respect each other immensely. It's been a really good rivalry over the last few years. I think like the last time Lexington may have won was that Kate Stover year where they came in here and kind of shocked Mansfield Senior a little bit, but that kind of ignited things for the Tigers moving forward. So, yeah, it's a great, great rivalry.
Fresh set of downs, and there is that defense again as Barry got the call, and he was swallowed up at the line of scrimmage by Samir Phillips. That is a fine-looking freshman.
He is huge, fast, quick. He has that great first step. But the defensive line, you look at the defensive line, you have two running backs on the defensive line. And Ricky Mills and Leo Hess, they're usually in the backfield a little bit. And that, I mean, their quickness right there just showed lights out again.
And then a guy like Myles Bradley, who's a defensive end, but he has 4 interceptions coming into tonight's game. 2nd down and 13 from the 43-yard line. Play fake, and Paulie's going to roll to his right, feels the pressure, is able to dump it off. It's Hudson Moore breaks some tackles, and he spins, and he's still inside Tiger territory at the 35-yard line. Amar Davis makes the tackle, but some tough running after the catch, and that almost looked like it could be another 4th down situation, but Lexington continues to fight.
These are two very, very big plays that we may look back on those two plays at the end of this game, depending the turnout, and kind of point to those two plays as maybe a turning point, because whenever you can convert on a 2nd and long, 3rd and long, it's going to give you guys some momentum.
Fresh set of downs inside the 35-yard line. They'll split a receiver wide to each side. Here comes the blitz. Paulie picks it up, swings it out. It's caught. That's Eichler. He's close to a 1st down at the 25-yard line. I think he's going to be short. And a little bit of physicality afterwards. Deontay O'Brien, the sophomore, and a flag is down. And I think this may be against Mansfield Senior.
Yeah, it looks like the official pointed that way initially there.
These two teams obviously know each other. They play in the same conference. They've played earlier this season. There is that little bit of a rivalry, and I was discussing this with Coach in the first half. These two teams started playing each other in 1916. They played once, and then there was a break until 1981.
Yeah, I saw that too, which is kind of crazy because, I mean, you look at the history of football between these two schools, and you would think, I mean, just a few miles down the road, you'd want to play every single year, but maybe things were just a little bit different back then.
Personal foul against the Tigers, so that is going to move Lexington even closer. So the Minutemen not going away here as we're under 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The winner of this ball game will take on the Padua Franciscan Cleveland Central Catholic winner, and right now it looks like it's Franciscan. They were up 24-8 at halftime. And the penalty moves the ball down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Minutemen. Paulie lofts it up right side. He had some separation, did Caden Eichler, but the ball a little bit overthrown.
Yeah, that's kind of been the second time we've had an open receiver there in the secondary, which is kind of uncharacteristic of this Mansfield Senior secondary. Usually locked down, but they'll play there on the 4th down in the first half on a 27-yard touchdown. Was just kind of different for them.
We were also talking about the ties between Lexington and Mansfield Senior, and Cole Paulie and the success that he has. Taylor Gerhardt attributes that to Jake Soliday, his quarterback's coach, who obviously played here, coached here, still teaches here, had some time in the NFL.
I think Gerhardt was a Malabar grad, I believe.
Malabar graduate. But he also had some coaching as Barry is tripped up in the backfield by Myles Bradley.
It seems like whenever you need a big play, Myles Bradley is right there to make it, offensively or defensively. I'd give that kid the football every single time here in the second half.
As both coaches describe Barry as a stud, and you hear that term thrown around, but Carson Barry wears that title very well, as you see a lot of the faithful here for Halloween weekend here in Mansfield. And the Tigers are trying to hold off the Minutemen here with 7 minutes to go in the third quarter. Near side ball in and out of the hands, and that one, I'll tell you what, Carter Newman would love to have that one back.
That could have been yet another big third down play to get the Minutemen in this drive keep going, but man, that just slipped right through his hands. Almost looked like he took his eyes off the ball before he caught it and wanted to turn around and run.
So it's now 4th down and 13. There's Taylor Gerhardt, who at one time was the linebackers coach for Stan Jefferson. So he knows the confines of Arlin Field very well. And he just, the tone of his voice just lit up when he started talking about Stan Jefferson. And anyone who's ever had a conversation with Stan Jefferson, as the Tiger defense would make Stan Jefferson proud on that play. And again, it's the freshman, Samir Phillips, who comes up with a huge play. And the Tigers force Lexington to turn it over on downs. Jake, thank you so much for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you as we continue down the postseason trail. And good luck with things at the News Journal. And I know last year we spent a lot of time together at the News Journal All-Star Game. Looking forward to that again this year. Thanks again for stopping by.
I appreciate you having me on, man.
Tigers with a 28-14 lead, 6:49 to go in the third quarter. And the Tiger offense back out on the field. Brock Hill with 4 receivers split wide to the right. Hill's going to run, but he can't get through the first 2 guys at the apex of that defensive line, led by Matthew Dwyer. And it's the defense again, Coach, for the Tigers that just comes up big there. That could have been a momentum-swinging play had Lexington put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, you needed the points there. Right now you're down by 2 scores. Senior High's got everything going for him, and Brock Hill is on fire.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9. Tigers up by 2 touchdowns. Should this hold and Senior High continue to lead? And Hill, again, looked like a design run. He has stuffed it about the 19-yard line.
Yeah, Lexington did a nice job shutting Brock down that time, bringing everybody in, kind of focusing a little bit more on him. When he scorches you for 2 long runs to set up touchdowns, you've got to put somebody on him.
They'll give him a yard, 3rd down and 8 from the 16-yard line. The Tigers in no hurry to get a playoff. Now they just want to play ball control and keep the ball away from the Minutemen with a 2-touchdown lead.
This is a big down, 3rd and 4th. You can force them to punt the ball here and get it back, get another opportunity to score. Big 3rd down play for the Minutemen.
Hill looks left side, has Bradley, catches him in stride. And no one is going to touch Myles Bradley as he goes into the end zone. 84 yards on the touchdown to Myles Bradley.
And that's what speed does for you. The young man got open on the sidelines and just outran everybody on the field.
The pass was perfectly thrown.
And there's a flag on the play.
3rd touchdown. This will be after the touchdown. Or will it?
Looks like everybody's pointing at Lexington.
Well, if it's on Lexington, they're going to decline the penalty. I'm thinking it's after the touchdown.
Well, the officials are talking about it. They want to get it right. But if the play stands, that could be the nail in the coffin.
Kind of reading the body language of Choky Bradley, he seems to be very calm, very under control, so I'm guessing this is against Lexington. Well, they're coming over to give him an explanation. And on the far side, they're talking to Taylor Gerhardt. There's Choky and the officials. Yep. The touchdown stands. They're going to go for 1. So it was after the touchdown. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call And that penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
The officials called taunting. Taunting on Lexington. It'll be 15-yard penalty on the kickoff.
That was actually called against the Tygers. So they will assess that on the kickoff. And Putt's extra point is blocked, so it will be a 34-14 lead for the Tygers. So Gerhardt and the Lexington Minutemen are now in a 20-point hole as we take a look at the touchdown. Catches him in stride. That is a perfect throw by Brock Hill. Brock Hill now 11 of 18, 213 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Bradley, 178 receiving yards and 3 scores. All 3 touchdown receptions thrown by Brock Hill. There's Brock with a smile.
What an explosive offense Senior High has. They can score from any position at any time. It doesn't matter if it's 3rd and long, 4th and long, 2nd and long, 3rd and short. Their offense never changes.
Well, and they get into those 3rd and long situations, but it's like it doesn't matter because they have so many different plays in their playbook. But they love, especially tonight, Myles Bradley has been the guy. 7 catches, averages 25 yards a catch. And that long, it was 80 yards on the touchdown pass.
And it happened so quick. It was quick. Brock got the snap, threw the ball to the sideline on we used to call that the old blast route, just run up the sidelines.
Now, having said all of that, going into the 4th quarter back in week 6, Lexington was down 23 and they made it a ball game. They're now down by 20.
Lexington's going to have to do something to take the momentum away from Senior High. Because right now, I don't know if you can feel it, Brian, but on this side, the Tigers side, you can feel the momentum rolling. The defense is jacked up. The offense is jacked up. Lexington's going to have to do something this series right here to take the momentum away from Senior High.
Maybe one difference from that week 6 game to this one, that game was in Lexington. This one is here at Arlin Field where the Tigers love playing here. 1st and 10 from the Lexington 33. Barry out of bounds at the 40.
And we talked about that earlier in the ballgame, Brian. You're at Arlin Field, the home of the Tigers, the TY Tigers. And they got the crowd, the band, the fans. Everything goes for them. They don't have to travel. The locker room, they're comfortable in there. Nothing like home field advantage.
Should the Tigers hold on, they would host a game next week. Pauly looks to throw, has some time and some room, and a receiver, and a flag is down. The ball is caught, and Caden Eichler is picked up and slammed to the turf by Amar Davis, but let's see what the penalty flag is about back at the 48-yard line. And that was a man-sized tackle, and Eichler held on.
And I'll tell you, that was great. The quarterback got flushed out of the pocket. He kept his eyes downfield, found the receiver. The receiver did a nice job of getting open. Nice completion.
But now let's see what the penalty is. 2 penalties combined in the first half. And we've had a little more laundry here in the 3rd quarter.
The officials gathered again. They've huddled up trying to figure everything out. They don't want to make a mistake. They want to make sure they get the right call.
Tigers have had 3 penalties in the 3rd quarter. Man, Lexington has had 2. It's a defensive holding call against Mansfield Senior, so that will be declined. And the result of the play is a 1st and 10 at the Tiger 38-yard line.
I really like Lexington's fighting back. They haven't given up. They're still fighting.
I'm impressed that Eichler held on to that ball. Barry, he's got running room. He bounces to the outside. And he's finally wrapped up by Amar Davis, but don't look now, but here come the Minutemen.
Nice play. A lot of that yardage was picked up by Barry, just finding the open space and outrunning the defense.
He's almost got the complete package as a running back. He's got the size, and he's got the speed, as you're going to see here on this play.
Nice blocking by the offensive. Look at the seam. Barry takes his time, finds the opening, bounces to the outside.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. A crucial drive for the Minutemen as they try to claw their way back into this. And there's another whistle. And I believe this is going to be a procedure call against Lex.
Somebody moved before they were supposed to. And these are the things that drive coaches crazy. You got a great drive going, and then you shoot yourself in the foot 5 yards back. Does Lex have the offense to compensate and make up for that mistake? 1st and 15.
Under 4 minutes to go here in the third. A Division III Region 10 first-round matchup between number 13 Lexington and number 4 Mansfield Senior, and it's been a good one. Pauly tries to look to the left side of the field under some pressure, trying to get it over to Caden Eichler, and it was incomplete.
Very difficult pass. Quarterback bootlegs out. He's rolling to the right, and he tries to throw all the way back to the left. Sometimes that ball has interception written all over it. Incomplete pass. Lexington needs to put some points on the board here. They got to stop this senior high momentum.
Three receivers set for the Minutemen. Pauly feels the heat, steps up. It's caught. And another broken tackle, but again, Carter Newman, the sophomore, makes the reception. Doesn't get much beyond that first broken tackle, and it's going to be 3rd and about 11.
Senior high's blitzing a linebacker in passing situations. Quarterback Pauly did a great job sidestepping, finding the open receiver. Lexington's in do-or-die situation. They need touchdowns. They got 2 plays to get it in the goal line or to get the first down.
They were able to block the extra point on the last Tiger touchdown. Will that come back to haunt Mansfield Senior on Halloween weekend? We will find out. 3rd and long. Pauly again steps up. The pocket collapses. He's dumped at the 21-yard line. Ball's on the ground, but I think they're going to say he was down. And then a flag comes flying in, and this is crucial depending on who it's on.
I think the ball is dead. Flag's going to go up. Looked like somebody tried to pile on the pile afterwards. The officials are right now just trying to keep everything under control.
Looks like there may have been a player ejected. As it looks like
anytime an official escorts a player to the sidelines, it's not a good sign.
Yeah, it looks like the penalty, let's see if we can see it here at the end of the play. The ball is down, and it looks like an ejection of Rael Meservi as he was escorted off the field. I think he was just trying to protect his quarterback.
The one thing the officials do not want to happen is let this game get out of hand. We still have a whole 4th quarter to go, Brian.
So it's a 15-yarder against Lexington. And they will march it all the way out to the 36-yard line. And he was indeed ejected. Lexington needs to get all the way to the 5-yard line for a first down.
And if you notice, the Tigers, they have their free safety sitting about 20 yards deep. You're not going to throw it behind them this time.
It's 4th and 30. Pauly back to throw, lofts it up, right side into double coverage. The ball's tipped around and it's picked off. It's picked off in the end zone by Keontez Bradley.
And you can look at it either way. That's as good as a punt. It's 4th down. You go for the goal. Lexington had nothing to lose there.
So the Tigers get it back with 2:07 to go in the third quarter.
And this is crunch time. Senior High's offense has been clicking on all cylinders. They've been almost doing anything they want this half. Brock's been running it. They've been throwing the ball. If Lexington's got anything to say, this is a stand. They've got to stop them and get the ball back for their offense.
Tigers still up by 20. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Tigers looking for win number 9. Tigers stay on the ground. That's Petty. Has running room. He's tripped up at about the 28-yard line.
Nice.
Corbin Green comes up to make the play.
Nice tackle. Nice open field tackle. If he would have missed the tackle, I think he would still be running.
Petty was just pounding away in the first half. 4 carries for 10 yards. That's the longest run he's had on the night of 9 yards. Hill. And he tried to, I don't know if they're going to, he was in the grasp of Leighton Nosa and kind of threw what looked like a pass to Ricky Mills.
They called it an incomplete pass, so there was a receiver nearby. That's one of the few times that Brock's had pressure on him. He stepped up in the pocket, just didn't break out. Usually he can run for yards after that.
3rd down and 1. There's a good look at Chokey in his 12th season as the Tigers head coach. Hill with a ball fake. And he's got running room and gets out of bounds at about the 46-yard line. Corbin Green up to make the play along with Mason Green.
Lexington had the right call made. They had a man in the backfield. Good ball fake. Brock Hill doing it with his feet.
That could have been a dangerous way. He didn't really slide.
Yeah, that's one thing you don't want to happen. Right now, you're up by 20. Nobody gets hurt.
We're under a minute here in the third quarter, and it has been a big third quarter for the Tigers. They've outscored Lex 13-0 and have gone up by 20. Hill steps up again. This time he cannot get away. The ball is on the ground. It's recovered by Lexington. Baden Forup comes up with the fumble recovery. And another turnover, the 3rd of the night for the Tigers. And Lex with an opportunity with 27 seconds to go before the end of the third quarter.
And just when you think things are going bad for Lexington. Fumble and a fumble return.
Baden Forup with the fumble recovery. And that's his first on the season, and Lex now with a golden opportunity, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
Big momentum change. Lexington puts it in here. They're right back in the ball game.
They give it to Barry. And Barry fights his way to the 6.
That Tiger defense does a great job pursuing to the ball, stepping up and meeting Barry.
See if Lex tries to get one more play off before the end of the 3rd quarter. It looks like they're going to take their time. And that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We head to the 4th. The Tigers up by 20, but Lexington threatening. You're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says, thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
The Minutemen with a 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. This is a crucial play if Lexington wants to get back into this ball game. And they're going to get closer to the end zone. They get in for a touchdown. Carter Newman on the jet sweep. And Lexington puts 6 on the board.
And that blocked extra point starting to look a little bit bigger. The closer Lexington gets to that score.
Well, now it's going to be up to the Lexington defense to come up with a stop here at the beginning of the 4th quarter. And the Tigers have to take care of the football in the final 12 minutes. A.J. Young on to attempt the extra point. It is up, and it is good. So Lexington now down 34-21, thanks to a turnover which gave Lexington the ball on a short field.
And very uncharacteristic of the Tiger offense. They have 3 turnovers in a game, Brian. 2 interceptions and a fumble.
Now, is it too soon to think about an onside kick, or do you try to surprise Mansfield Senior here and try to get the ball back?
Lexington has nothing to lose. They came in as an underdog. They got beat by Senior High once. Anything is open right now. Onside kick is a possibility. Or do you put it on your defense? Kick the ball deep. Do you want to give Senior High the ball at the 50-yard line? All that stuff's got to run through Coach Taylor's head and Coach Garrett. And it's a tough call right now.
A.J. Young, the Lexington kicker, tees it up at the 40, and
you put the pressure on your Lexington defense. Still a lot of time in the game. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
Deontay O'Brien back to receive for the Tigers. And they're going to kick it deep. And O'Brien's going to watch it sail over his head, and The Tigers with a 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Brian Harter, Bruce Weirich from Arlin Field in Week 11. We have had an entertaining ball game, to say the least, here at Arlin Field. And the Tigers with a 34-21 lead. And they have been prone to turn the ball over. 2 interceptions and a fumble. And the last one, that fumble, gift wrap, basically a touchdown for Lexington, and they were able to capitalize.
And the pressure now falls on those 11 men in the white out there. Lexington defense.
Brock Hill has thrown a couple of picks tonight, uncharacteristic for him. And he was the one who fumbled there. Hill on the fake and nowhere to go as that side of the Lexington defense was ready for the Tiger quarterback. And it's eerily quiet here on this side of the stadium here at Arlin Field.
It's kind of a Halloween feeling right now.
It is.
You don't know what's happened. It's a little spooky if you're a Tiger fan right now.
They're going to give Hill a couple of yards on the run. 2nd down and 8. Line of scrimmage at the Tiger 22.
Lexington's got everybody within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And all the receivers in single coverage. And the Tigers stay on the ground. And Petty, he'll get a couple, and it sets up another 3rd down and 6. And this has not been a problem for the Tigers all night long. They've been able to convert on 3rd and long.
And what they do, they seem to pick out one receiver.
Myles Bradley.
And they're going to throw the ball to him wherever Myles is at.
178 yards receiving for Bradley already. All 3 touchdown passes thrown by Brock Hill have gone to Myles Bradley. Petty is the lone running back. Hill under pressure, steps up, he throws it, it's incomplete, and that time Lexington was able to get to Brock Hill.
Excellent job. And again, Brock was they're looking for that receiver, and good pass rush by the Lexington Minutemen. Is this the first punt of the night for the Tigers?
Leighton Nosa in the backfield, and yes, this is the first punt of the night for the Tigers. Jokey Bradley not liking that.
And the Lexington defense did the job.
It's now 4th and 7 from the 23-yard line.
And the last time these teams met, Lexington actually won the 4th quarter.
Brock Hill back to punt. Aside from his quarterbacking and rushing chores, he's the team's punter. And not much of a return as Caden Eichler with really nowhere to go. But they are in Tiger territory at the 48-yard line.
And what we're running into now, Lexington has nothing to lose. They got 49 yards to go for a touchdown. Taylor Gerhardt's going to live or die on this drive right now.
Isaiah Darson just grabbed Caden Eichler and held on for dear life until his teammates were able to help get Eichler down.
Momentum's jumped to the other side of the field tonight, Lexington's.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts here in the 4th quarter. Eichler flushed out, and he throws it. It's incomplete. He had Eichler in the vicinity, but again, the pressure, and he was feeling it by Marquise Trochet, the junior.
I thought he did a nice job standing in the pocket, waiting for his receivers. Once the receiver saw he was in trouble, they stopped their routes and run back to the quarterback.
Try to set up a screen. Barry has some running room inside the 40s, out of bounds. as he was ridden out by Amar Davis, but he's close to first down yardage. Let's see where they spot the ball.
Nice call by Lexington. When you're getting a lot of pressure put on you, when those linebackers and defensive players are putting the pressure on you, you throw a screen pass. First down, Lexington Minutemen.
First and 10, fresh set of downs for the Minutemen at the 38-yard line. Berry with another hole, dances inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
And the Lex offense is on a roll right now, Brian.
Avion Gross coming up to make the stop. A gain of 9 by Berry, second down and 1. Berry now over 100 yards, 121 yards on 21 carries.
Second down, 1. Does Lexington go for the touchdown here? You have a play to waste.
Eichler reading your mind, but so were the Tygers, and the ball's on the ground. It's recovered by Mansfield Senior. They force a turnover, and Ricky Mills is right there.
There was nothing that the quarterback could do. Those defensive players from senior high were all over him.
I think they read your mind, and they thought Eichler was going to go back and throw him. That's exactly what happened. They sent the house, and Mills comes up with the fumble recovery. A huge play for the Tiger defense.
And now Lexington defense, just like they did last time, they got to stop this offense in its tracks, get the ball back.
So the Tigers now take advantage of a turnover. Lexington with 2, the Tigers with 3. Now time becoming a factor for the Minutemen as we're under 9 minutes to go. They swing it out, it's caught, and Giante Bryant, the sophomore, turns upfield and gets about 8 yards to the 49-yard line.
Throw to the open receiver. They call that a wide receiver screen. Throw it to him behind the line and let him see if he can run upfield.
Corbin Green makes the tackle. He did get out of bounds, so it's 8:50 to go. That stopped the clock. Now the Lexington defense needs to come up big. Can they get another turnover? A broken play, and Hill is swallowed at the 47-yard line. Looked like he was trying to turn and hand the ball off, and there was some miscommunication as to what the play was, and the defense was right there.
Very uncharacteristic of this offense, Brian.
We haven't seen that much this
Somebody
year.
missed an assignment. Quarterback feels, whoa, where's my help?
Third down and 4. Trips to the right. Myles Bradley to the left. O'Brien in motion to the far side. They fake the handoff to him. Hill keeps it, and he's short.
Decision time. 4th and 2. Do the Tigers go for it, or do they punt and keep Lexington in the hole?
I think they're going to pin him. I think Choki Bradley's going to play field position here. Lexington, he has a lot of confidence in that defense, and he's not going to let Lexington get the ball in a short field.
Yeah, but the thing that scares me, look who's the punter. You have the quarterback back there who can do anything he wants. If there's an opportunity to run it or throw the ball, he can do it.
Hill standing inside the 40. Eichler back at the 24. Hill does kick it. Nice kick.
Oh!
And that could be – did he call for a fair catch?
Yeah, he called a fair catch. He felt he was interfered with. The official never threw the flag.
So that could be a big no call as, that's close. So Lexington gets the ball with 7:09 to go, still down 2 scores.
And Chokey did exactly what you thought. Punt the ball, pin the Minutemen back.
Taylor Gerhardt wanting the call and obviously not going to get it. And time now becoming a factor for Lexington. They have all 3 timeouts. They're down by 2 scores. They are down by 13 as a result of a blocked extra point.
And right now, as you stated, the clock is against the Minutemen. They've got to move the ball and get positive yardage and score.
Pauly back to throw. They set up a screen again, and it's picked off. This one is picked off by Leo Hess. And it's almost like he threw the ball right to Leo Hess.
Yeah. Well, they ran that same screen earlier. This time Leo knew it was coming, stepped up in front of it, picked the ball off. And Chokey Bradley, he's even saying they worked all week on the Lexington screens because Lexington does a great job.
Ball underthrown, and that could be an understatement. The Tigers with the ball gift-wrapped at the 13-yard line.
2 turnovers in a row on 2 different series has really hampered Lexington this 4th quarter.
Each team now with 3 giveaways. Hill goes back, hands to Petty. Petty off left tackle. He's got nowhere to go as he is wrapped up by Hudson Moore.
Senior High is running a power I formation. 2 fullbacks in there trying to block. With as gifted and as talented as these backs are from Senior High, it's a simple find the open spot and run.
It's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. The important number for Chokey Bradley is the clock, 6:26 and counting.
And look for number 4 to throw the ball to number 2.
Bradley all alone on the far side. Now he's going to draw a safety up. They give the ball to Petty. And Petty inside the 10, forced back. His forward progress, though, should be about the 9-yard line. Hit on the play, Hudson Moore again.
If Senior High is unable to score the touchdown, do they kick the field goal, which makes it a 3-score game?
Well, and Sean Putt is 8 of 10 on the season, his longest a 35-yarder, so they do have a solid kicker, and I would think they might go that route if they don't find the end zone.
Yes, this is the play right here. If they don't make it, you kick the field goal. You are now 3 scores ahead. It's going to be tough for Lex to come back.
3rd down and 4. Hill looking right side, flushed out of the pocket. Throws it. It was caught. No, it's incomplete. So he's looking for Bradley.
Yeah.
So it's 4th down, and this is an important field goal for the Tigers. Because, as you said, this would then make it a 3-possession ball game.
And it's not automatic. They have had an extra point blocked, and this was almost an extra point.
It's a 24-yarder.
Lex could use a little bit of luck here.
Perfect snap, perfect hold, perfect kick, and it's good. So Mansfield Senior gets 3 big points with 5:11 to go in the ball game. And they go up by a score of 37-21, and that was probably the final nail in the coffin.
It's going to be tough. Lexington needs 2 scores in 5 minutes. You got to remember Senior High is going to get the ball back sometime in here, and it's a tough uphill fight, especially against a defense that Senior High has. And Senior High's defense lives and dies for these situations. You watch what happens. These front four and these linebackers are going to start blowing gaps, and they're going to go after the quarterback. They're going to give up on the run. You know Lex is going to throw the ball, and they're going to tee off.
Tigers are in a golden opportunity here to win their 9th game of the year and host a playoff game next week. We will try to get an update on the Franciscan Cleveland Central Catholic game. Franciscan was leading at the half. And we're going to have a penalty. It's going to be an offside against Mansfield Senior on the kickoff, so they'll back up.
When you look at this fourth quarter, Brian, all I can visualize are those 2 turnovers by the Lexington offense. The quarterback got rushed, dropped the ball. That was a big turning point right there.
Well, when Taylor Gerhardt and the coaches and the players look at this film, they're going to see some missed opportunities that they had against a team the caliber of Mansfield Senior.
It's a yardstick of how good your team is. How far have you developed? How good are you going to be next year? What they're doing right now is setting the tone for next year's Lexington football team.
Putts kick caught on the fly by Scott Roush, and Roush runs out of bounds at about 33-yard line. Well, unfortunately for Lexington, they're going to lose Carson Berry.
Whew, that's a big seam to fill.
They're going to lose Cade Pauley.
If you take a look what we have, Lexington needs a score ASAP. And then they've got to go for 2. You score, you go for 2. Then your defense has got to shut them down. Get the ball back. Then you got to score and go for another 2 to tie it up.
Well, let's see if the Minutemen have any tricks in their bag.
Little trap play.
Berry breaks some tackles, and he's forced out of bounds at about just over the 46-yard line. He gets 8 yards on the carry.
What an outstanding runner. You know, here he is. He's down a little bit. Senior year, working his tail off. He earned every one of those yards. Every player out there looks up to that young man.
Taylor Gerhardt told me coming into this season he wasn't even thinking about Carson Berry. He wasn't thinking about playing college football, but now he's got some decisions to make, and Gerhardt feels he could play at the Division II or even the MAC level. Berry gets past the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and short.
That's that counter trap that they ran earlier with a little bit of success. Senior High has made a few adjustments and shut that play down. But what's happening now, Brian, is Senior High, their defense is just sitting back. They're looking for the pass. The front defensive players are just teeing off. Lexington has got to throw the ball and score now.
3rd down and 1. They can afford to run something here, stop the clock to move the chains. But, yes, eventually it's going to fall on the shoulders of Cole Pauley.
And as Jake Furr said, these defensive backs live and die for you being forced to throw the football. They love it when the ball's in the air. They have the athletic ability to cover ground and make the interceptions.
4 minutes, 11 seconds to go. Mansfield Senior 37, Lexington 21. Should the Tigers win tonight, we will be back here at Arlin Field next week.
And the other thing I'm impressed with is the pressure that the defense is putting on this offense. I mean, I don't think the quarterbacks had a clean pocket to throw the ball from the whole second half. Somebody's been chasing him.
3rd down and 1. Barry has a first down, and he's down at the 46-yard line. Jayante O'Brien, the sophomore, comes up to make the play. And a fresh set of downs. The drive stays alive, but they need chunk plays, and they need them quickly.
They need a touchdown and an onside kick.
They don't need a long, time-consuming drive. They need 6 points.
They still have two timeouts.
Pauly feels the pressure, and he throws it away. This one, I'm really surprised, did not get. There's a flag after the play, and this could go against the Tigers. I thought they were going to call grounding.
Yeah.
It was a late flag if it's ground. Yeah, they're going to call intentional grounding, but he took a long time to think about it.
But if we can see a replay of this, you have got to watch the senior high pass rush. That linebacker just runs over the lineman. Watch him. Kapow! Boom! And he just keeps going. And it's really tough for a quarterback to look downfield with an orange jersey in your face.
And that's, again, as we talked about what Coach Bradley said, this is a collective effort. You can't even, your blocking schemes can't be to get rid of, if you have a Myles Garrett, you can double team him. You can do those things. You can't do that with this defense because they have 11 guys that can make plays.
And they're making them right now. They're just teeing off. Here they come again.
They swing it out to Eichler. And Eichler spins, gets short yardage to the 44-yard line. Samir Phillips, the freshman, again in on a play. And it's another 3rd and long situation, and the clock just continues to move.
Lexington has got the score. More importantly, they got to get a first down. They still have 2 plays, 3rd down and 4th down if they don't make it. But it's all out right here. Leave nothing on the carpet.
Pauly on 3rd and 25. And there's a whistle, and I think this could be a procedure call against Lex, and it is. And the fans here at Arlin Field on Halloween weekend loving it. And there's some odd-looking hair in the stands there.
Yep. Welcome to Halloween dress-up at Arlin Field.
Fans having fun here in Week 11, playoff football. And I love the fact we had a little bit of drizzle in the first quarter, but the weather has held off. It's been a little chilly, but it's been good football weather here in Week 11.
Look at the senior high to tee off on this play. That defense, they're going after the quarterback.
Pauly running for his life, and it's incomplete. And the only good thing about that is it stops the clock.
And it wasn't picked off.
He threw it like in the middle of a zone, and there was nobody there. There were 3 bodies in a triangle.
But it's a 4th down. They've got to throw it. If they got any razzle-dazzle play, hook and ladder, this is the time to pull it out, a reverse halfback throw. Now's the time to do it. The problem is that defensive front of senior high, Brian, they are going to tee off and go after this quarterback. It could be an ugly scene.
3 receivers on the right side. Pauly back to throw. Lofts it up, and it's incomplete. The closest to the ball was Amar Davis for the Tigers, and Lexington turns it over on downs, and that will do it.
Lexington was in a situation where they just threw it downfield, see if one of their receivers could run underneath it. Valiant effort by that offense, especially when you're up against one of the best defenses around.
And Chokey Bradley loves every minute of this, as they will sweep the 2-game series between Lexington this season, and more importantly, they will advance to Week 12.
They've got some work to do, though. too many turnovers, few penalties that hurt them.
Tigers up 37-21. And they'll stay on the ground. That's Ricky Mills, and he has stood up at the 40. Timeout is going to be called by Lexington with 2:11 to go.
That leaves them with one timeout left.
So the Tigers will improve to 5-0 at home in playoff games and look to go to 6-0 as they will take on the Padua Franciscan Cleveland Central Catholic winner. We will try to find out a final from that game before we wrap up this one tonight. The Tigers will be back here at Arlin Field. We will be back here at Arlin Field next week.
Well, what a game, Brian. Little of everything today. Momentum changes.
Tigers look for their 8th win in overall in the playoffs against 10 losses. Jokey Bradley in 12 seasons has taken the Tigers to the postseason 8 times. Brock Hill, ball tipped, and it's picked off. The third, oh no, did it hit the ground? No, he caught it.
Interception.
So the third interception of the night as Jamarian Fagan comes up with the interception.
I talked about that earlier. When you have a receiver running at you on a slant route and you're running towards him, the distance is cut down, it's a tough ball. A lot of people don't realize how difficult of a throw that is. Brock usually does a great job doing it. This time he threw a little behind the receiver.
So Lex gets the ball back with 2:05 to go in the ball game. Pauly swings it out. This one's caught. Carter Newman, the sophomore, at the 35. Got out of bounds. That stops the clock. Just under 2 minutes to go.
Senior high defense just doing what they do, playing deep coverage and putting the big rush on.
2nd and 3. Pauly swings it out. This one caught. And again, Caden Eichler with the reception, but takes a hit.
You know, Brian, we've seen a lot of games this year, but some of the biggest hits have happened right here tonight.
That was a solid shot again, delivered by Keontae Bradley. Eichler flushed out of the pocket, and it's caught again by Carter Newman, but well short of a first down. It'll be 2nd down. They're going to give him yardage to the 40, so it'll be 2nd down and 8.
And when you look at the reality here, or senior high scores, gets 2, onside kick. Senior high's dropping everybody deep, playing a 3-man zone. Here comes the blitz.
Looking for Eichler again. Myles Bradley there, though, to quickly wrap him up. It's still 3rd and 5.
It just really how aggressive this defensive front is for senior high.
And another interception. The Tigers come up with another turnover. Jayante O'Brien takes the ball away from from Cole Pauley. Pauley now with 3 interceptions on the night. A rough night for the Lexington quarterback. 14 of 26, 133 yards, and 3 interceptions. He did throw a touchdown pass.
And the one stat that's not in there is how many times he's been rushed. He has had somebody in his face the entire fourth quarter. I don't think the young man's been able to stand back there, look downfield, and find a receiver and throw it. He's got to throw the ball right away because there's been somebody all over him all night.
So Taylor Gerhardt's going to call a timeout with 1:08 to go. The Tigers are going to win this one. There you see the Tigers sideline. A lot of smiles there for the brown and orange as they're going to go to week 12. And
you want to make sure there's no injuries. You want to keep your kids healthy.
Final score, Franciscan 34 and Cleveland Central Catholic 14. So they will, Franciscan that is, will be coming to Arlin Field next week to take on the Tigers. Franciscan a 5 seed, taking on the 4 seed Tigers of Mansfield Senior in a matchup that should be a pretty good one here at Arlin Field. Hope you join us here next week, as Bruce and I will be here to see if the Tigers can get win number 10. I would guess here that the Tigers will just take a couple snaps and that will do it. And that is the case.
What a game tonight.
Tigers are going to get out of here with a 37-21 win.
And another week of practice for the Tigers. It seems like anymore, Senior High doesn't have a 10-game schedule. They just might as well schedule 11, 12, 13 games. Chokey Bradley's really got this team, this program, playing at a different level.
And that's going to do it. The Tigers with a 37-21 win over the Lexington Minutemen.
But I'll tell you what I like right now. Take a look out on the field right there. Lexington, number 1, standing there. The Tiger players are going over, congratulating them.
There is a lot of respect for these programs.
A lot.
We'll take a timeout. We'll come back with the Charter NextGen postgame show. Right after this, you're watching high school playoff football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Lender, craftsman, dog dad. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why
not
podcast.
Pigskin?
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it, Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Are you looking for a solid career, job security, great pay, and rapid advancement? An important role with a global leader that invests in state-of-the-art technology, develops world-class solutions, and is committed to a cleaner tomorrow? Yeah, we have just what you're looking for.
Welcome to the Charter NextGen postgame show. I am Brian Harter along with Bruce Weirich. We will be joined by Travis Berardi here shortly, but the Tigers with a big win in Week 11, 37-21 over Lexington. It did not come without a few scares here on Halloween weekend, but they were able to get things done, and it was a little sloppy at time. We had some turnovers, but in the end, it was the Mansfield defense that really stood up and took control of things, especially late.
Yeah, if you take a look at what that defense did to the Lexington passing attack, and you know, the Lexington, they had a good game plan. They came in with a running, but when they got behind, they had to throw the ball. Well, Senior High just ate them up.
355 yards of total offense for Lexington. There were some uncharacteristic turnovers, especially by Brock Hill, throwing some interceptions. 221 passing yards for Brock Hill, 134 yards on the ground, and that had to be pleasing for Chokey Bradley.
It was. You know, you have momentum. When that quarterback breaks out of there and starts running up the field, that puts so much pressure on you. Holy smokes, what a night.
Individually, Brock Hill, 17 carries, 109 yards, and a touchdown. He also was 12 of 23 through the air, 221 yards and 3 touchdowns. All 3 of those touchdowns went to Myles Bradley, 7 receptions, 178 yards and 3 touchdowns. We're going to hope to talk to Myles after the ball game here tonight. For Lexington, Carson Perry, 136 yards on 24 carries, but he had to fight for every one of those yards. He also scored a touchdown. And it was a rough night for Cole Pauley, 14 of 26, 133 yards and a touchdown and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, you take a look at both sides of the ball, though. When was the last time we saw Brock Hill have 2 interceptions and a big fumble recover? Or, you know, very uncharacteristic. And as the Tigers go deeper into the playoffs, you can't make that because the teams keep getting better and better and better. And if you have 3 turnover or 4 turnovers against a team like they play next week, you might have your hands full.
Now they have, the whole quarterback rating thing. Brock Hill with a rating of 85.6. He threw 3 touchdowns, but he did throw the 3 picks. And that is something that as they look at the film that they're going to clean up. But I think that also in large part you have to give credit to the Lexington defense. They came and they had a pretty good game plan, and they forced him into some bad decisions, and it resulted in some turnovers.
Brock, we've seen it all year long. Brock does a great job when he stands in the pocket. Now, if you can force Brock out of the pocket, take him off his sweet spot. He loves to sit in that pocket and pick you apart. But if you can make him run, get out of there, I put a little pressure on him, he runs into a situation where he's going to throw the ball up. And tonight it turned into interceptions.
We're going to take a timeout. We come back. We're going to go down to the field, and Travis Berardi is going to get our player of the game. And also we're going to hear from Coach Bradley. And that'll be as we continue with the Charter Next Generation postgame show. We'll be back to Arlin Field right after this. You're watching high school football live and free exclusively on the OH Report.
Lender, craftsman, dog dead. We're more than our job titles, and you're more than an account number. The personal attention we provide comes from a promise to serve you with respect and compassion. By being responsive to your questions and taking time to understand your needs and goals, we give you more than just a place to bank. That's the more you can expect from Park National Bank. Find John or a banker near you at parknationalbank.com. Park National Bank, where you mean more.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today? Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Why not
Podcast.
Pigskin?
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is driving excitement. You asked for it, you got it. A 3-month, 3,000-mile warranty on all vehicles. A local veteran-owned dealership caring about the community, providing quality vehicles at rock-bottom pricing. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans of all makes and models. No bones about it. Daisy the Doodle says thanks, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield, for making my first-time car buying experience simple. Located at 100 South Illinois Ave, A1 Auto Sales Mansfield is the dealership for you.
Lender.
Time now for our Charter NextGen MVP, and it is Myles Bradley, wide receiver of the victorious Mansfield Senior Tigers. 3 tutties tonight. Take me through the touchdowns first off, Myles.
The first touchdown, it was single coverage, and we knew anytime I would get single coverage, we were going to take advantage of it.
And just talk about, I think it was your last touchdown. Brock pretty much dropped a dime right into your arms. You took off. Just go through that play.
On that play, they sent the pressure, and they went single coverage again, and we just took advantage of it, and he put it right in the perfect position where I can just catch it and keep on running.
How difficult is it to play a team a second time, especially in the playoffs?
It's really difficult because once you play them the first time, they know all your what you guys want to do, and they know all of our players and what all of our players can do. So they just try and pick up where we don't lack at.
You guys get Padua Franciscan next. What do you guys need to work on going into next week in round 2?
I think defensively we need to work on tackling and getting lined up. And then offensively, I believe that we need to work on getting the point attack on blocking, and also, just making the game simple and just doing the simple things instead of trying to make the big play every single time.
And as Coach was saying in your huddle after the game, this is the first time ever you're going to get 2 home games at Arlin Field. How cool of a feeling is that, being able to get 2 home games in the playoffs?
That's real special to me because I'm a senior and I've never experienced 2 home games in the playoffs, and I'm going to always remember this from my senior year, 2 home playoff games.
And lastly, if you want to look into the camera and give a shout-out to anybody in Tiger Nation, go for it, my friend.
I love all the supporters that came out today. Go Tigers.
All right, Myles Bradley, our Charter NextGen MVP. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coach Bradley's still talking with the media right now, but I'm going to grab him here in a couple seconds. So I'll throw it back up to you, Brian and Bruce.
Thanks a lot, Travis, and we'll wait to see if we can get a hold of Chokey Bradley. He's talking with one of the members of the News Journal, and just I tell you what, Myles Bradley, you talk about a mild-mannered kid and a really nice kid, but he plays with a ferocity that you don't hear when he opens that mouth and that soft-spoken voice comes out.
Yeah, sometimes you listen to people on the radio and you kind of figure out, hey, what's that guy, Wolfman Jack? I hear him on the radio, in American Graffiti. What does he look like? And, here you have a young man who sets the world on fire out there, and what an athlete. Well, what a student athlete.
And if he thinks they have to work on tackling, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, another outstanding performance by Myles Bradley, and they're going to be looking for more of that as they head into Week 12. Let's send it back down to the field as Travis is standing by with Chokey Bradley.
Back down here with Coach Chokey Bradley. Coach, first off, congratulations. You got the win, and you needed a balanced offensive attack to do it.
Yeah, we did. We were able to, run the ball well from the quarterback, and Brock made some big throws, and Myles made some great catches in the receiving game, and so I don't know what the stats were yet. I haven't took a look at them yet, but there probably was pretty balanced run pass in terms of the yardage. But the turnovers to me was disheartening, and we got to get that cleaned up.
And that was my next question. You still got the win, which is great in the playoffs, but what do you need to clean up? What do you need to fix next week going into Padua Franciscan?
Well, we just got to be more disciplined. With the football, and we gotta emphasize more ball security and taking care of the football. You in the playoffs, you move forward by, being sound on defense, tackling, and not turning the football on offense. You know what I mean, and winning first down. And so I think tonight, sure we got the win, and it's great to get a win at home, but all in all, we got to do better with the turnovers on the offensive side of the ball. We got to win first down more, and defensively we got to tackle better, and we got to finish games. We were able to get some big plays up. You know what I mean, and I don't think we did a really good job of finishing. I think we had a couple turnovers late, and that's not good.
You get the unique situation this year. You get 2 home games. You get another home game here next week against Padua Franciscan in what would have been the quarterfinal. Just how unique is that, and how good of a feeling is it that you'll be at home one more time?
Well, it's great for the Mansfield community, for our hometown, and it's great for our seniors and our football team to get another opportunity to play, Tiger football in, the best stadium in the state of Ohio, Arlin Field. So it's always wonderful to come out here and play another home game here and get another opportunity to coach our kids throughout the week in our preparation.
All right, Coach, I'll let you go get some juice, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
Send it back up to you boys to wrap things up.
Thanks a lot, Travis. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Travis. We're trying again. Thanks a lot, Travis. You heard from Chokey Bradley of Mansfield Senior after the Tigers get a big win in Week 11. And I think Coach hit it right on the head. 1, they have to do a better job of taking care of the football. And 2, on first down, they put themselves in a lot of second and third and long situations. And as you get deeper into the postseason, that is something that they're going to have to clean up.
Yeah, and it starts next week. The first game, you're in the playoffs, you're doing great, you play a team you've already beaten before, you were expected to come out and do the job that they did, and they did it. They got the job done. But the little mistakes, like Coach Bradley says, they got to clean them up because each game gets tougher from here on out.
Well, with the win, Mansfield Senior is now 9-2, and they will advance to play Padua Franciscan next Friday night here at Arlin Field, and that's a game that you can catch right here on the OH Report. Lexington ends the season 4-7. The final score tonight, Mansfield Senior 37 and Lexington 21. Our thanks to tonight's broadcast team. Our producer was Adam Thompson, and the fine camera work courtesy of Jory Hollenbeck, Travis Berardi, and Hayden Gray. Our stats provided by John, and his last name Davis.
John Davis.
Slipped my mind. I should have written that down. He's one
JD.
of the, JD. I'm sitting there going, what is his last name? But there, John Davis. But most of all, our thanks to you for joining us. Once again, the final score, Mansfield Senior 37 and Lexington 21. You've been watching high school football live and free on the OH Report, powered by BS Media Productions, the future of local sports. For Bruce Weirich, I'm Brian Harter. So long from Arlin Field.